Hey everybody, it's Chad with Nobody Else's Auto. It is Sunday evening, June 28th, and we're getting ready to do our live chat. We'll give it a few seconds, let some people start jumping on with us, and we'll get rolling here shortly. So if you're watching this after the fact, we're going to take a few second break here, let some people get on with us live, and be rolling here shortly. All right, got some people on with us now. Looks like we're about ready to roll. Texas is on with us. As always, if you got any questions or comments, throw them up. Things to talk about. Hey, we got our good buddy Bill Twitchell on with us. On two platforms tonight, the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook and YouTube. The Nobody Show page, it's just too much to try to keep up with all three of them, so we'll roll with two. And got Randy here with us. Randy's usually in with us also. A bit of good news tonight. We have power, which is more than I could say for last Sunday night. We had a big windstorm come through. Fortunately, no rotation. Our buddy Jason's on with us back on Facebook. Jason's usually here with us also. We had terrible winds. They said no rotation, all straight line, but they said definitely 80 mile an hour, and I think that we had up to 100 mile an hour gusts last Sunday night. Train cars literally blowing off the tracks, and we had a mess with trees and everything down. No power anywhere that I had Sunday night. I got the shop back by Monday morning. The house was out until about 4 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. So, and now we got our buddy Mike on. Yeah, lots of comments already popping up about Rocky Mountain Race Week. We're definitely going to get to that tonight. Got Ottawa, Kansas on. Ricardo, VWs. I've got a few VWs, depending on what you're looking for. Omaha, Nashville, Minnesota. All right, we're cut. Glenn from Minnesota's on with us. He's one of our regulars. So thanks for being here, guys. Obviously, got a lot of stuff to try to cram in tonight. 3-speed manual column for 71 Ranchero. I don't think I've got anything there. I've got a 71 Torino, but I think it was an automatic on that one, Thomas. So lots of stuff to cram in here. I hope I don't bore you guys to death. If I talk too long, just tell me to shut up and we're done for the night and we'll cut her off. But I got 2 weeks worth of notes and obviously a big week with Rocky Mountain Race Week. Got California on YouTube too, so we're pretty much hitting all the corners of the states again. So need a roof for 67 Camaro, no first-gen F-bodies at all in stock right now. Let's see. So made it through the storm, got the trees cleaned up on Monday, and got back to getting ready for race week. I got the Pika on with us too. It's Pika. So we'll catch a little bit of stuff I had for last week real quick before we get into this week and Rocky Mountain Race Week. 60 bug bumpers. I don't have any bugs that early. Tim from Canada on. Tim's one of our regulars also. Thanks for being here, Tim. Week before last, some of my notes, we'll get through some of these real quick. My buddy Phil Skinner from California was in town. He did the auction in Auburn, worked his way back through here, spent a couple days in Great Bend with me. We went and looked at some cool cars. I bought some stuff, drug some stuff in. He took a lot of pictures. Phil is a writer, does a lot of stuff for Old Cars Weekly. He does a lot of stuff for Sports Car Marketplace, covers a lot of the big auctions. So good. Phil's become a good friend, and it was really good to see him. Frame for an 87 Ranger. Do not have any of those Rangers in that era right now. Phil is an Etzel guy. I learned a lot about Etzels from Phil. Actually, Phil is probably the Etzel guy. I mean, he is the Etzel guru. He actually maintains a database of all the Etzels known to man that they can find. Pennsylvania's on, and we're getting all the way around the states. They actually have over 13,000 Etzels documented in the database as of right now. It's a pretty cool deal. They can tell you exactly how many of what Etzel and what color and stuff that's been located. They keep track of where they're at, things like that. So they made a little over 110,000 Etzels. I don't remember exactly, 110, 112,000 Etzels. And they've tracked down over 13,000 of them. So kind of a neat deal. I've learned a lot from Phil about Etzels. You know, they were always kind of the butt of the joke for so many years, but they're really a neat car. And one thing that Phil did mention to me is Illinois on YouTube. Hey, Illinois. What they're starting to see in the Etzel world is a lot of these younger collectors that like cars from the 50s. A lot of Etzels are still within the price point for a lot of them. So he said it's been really good for the Etzel world that a lot of these younger collectors are picking them up because they are unique cars and they are kind of cool. They had a lot of unique features. So even though they weren't that successful, they definitely weren't all bad. And there's Arizona. So we're got people jumping on from all over to hang out with us. So it's great to see Phil, and always learn a lot from Phil. Well and deeply involved in the business. Always good to hang out and learn some stuff, spend a little time with him. So that was what I did at the end of last week, and then got ready for this week, which was kind of bananas. And we got a lot of stuff to cover about what I did this week too. So like I said, I'll try to run through some of this, but we'll get into some of it. I know it's going to take a little time. If you've got questions, throw them up there. I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments on both screens. And Eastern Kentucky's on with us. Hey, Russell. Iowa. Super appreciate it. Last week got interesting, to say the least. Obviously, I lost a good chunk of Monday hauling off tree limbs, which started me off behind the 8-ball for a week that was already jam-packed. Obviously, was not able to do all of Rocky Mountain Race Week this year. We talked a little bit about Race Week a couple weeks ago. For our people that weren't with us a couple weeks ago, basically what Rocky Mountain Race Week consists of, 4 racetracks, 5 days of racing. You start at one track, and you go to another, and then you end up back at this original track where you started. We got London on with us. Hey, London. Gary from London. Thanks for being here. But the key is you have to drive what you're racing the entire time. No trailers, nothing like that. You drive it. If you break it, you fix it, and you keep going. It's a heck of a week. It's an interesting week, and it's a great time. Awesome people. Matt Frost, buddy of mine, puts that deal together. It's an insane amount of work. Everybody has a great time. It's a super cool deal. But that's what it consists of. You race it, you break it, you drive it, you race it, you drive it, and you break it, and fix it and keep going. And the entire objective, there's going to be a winner in every class, obviously, but the entire objective is to get everybody get through. That's the big thing. Try to make it through the week and have a successful week and have a lot of fun. California, Minnesota, I got a comment about VTs. I'm not sure where we're at on VTs there, Steven. What do we got going over here? Blue 56 Pontiac 2-door sedan, have a drivetrain. I've got a light green 56 Pontiac 2-door post. It does have a drivetrain, and it is a factory stick car. It's got the original V8 with a factory stick 3-speed in it. So Race Week is a really unique deal, and it is super cool. It is similar to Drag Week, but Race Week is a kind of its own bird. It's the same concept, but it's a little more laid back. There's a little bit of extra wiggle room for drive time and things like that. Gives you a little bit of time to regroup. And a top-notch group of people. Some of the best people you'll ever hang out with. So that's why I enjoy it. I did the whole thing in 18. Was not able to do the whole thing this year. We did drive up to Kearney Wednesday night to see some friends. And then actually went to the track Thursday night. We headed up Wednesday night. Went to the track Thursday night, saw some friends, and then had to turn around and hurry up and get back to be ready for here Friday. So what I ended up doing was making a little bit of a short trip out of it to get some really cool video. So before we got to Rocky Mountain Race Week, and I'm sure there's some of you have heard of this. If you haven't, you need to look it up and you need to go there. And I'm going to give you a whole bunch of samples of what we're going to talk about. Head for a 68 Buick 400, Robert. I don't know if I've got anything there. I know I don't have anything that I can guarantee is good. I don't have any that I know aren't cracked. Went to a place in Minden, Nebraska called Pioneer Village. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of it or not. I've been going there since I was a kid. My parents took me there. I take my daughter there. I've been there countless times. Awesome place. You think Pioneer Village, what is it, horses and wagons? Yes, to start with. Pioneer Village is a museum that documents man's progress from 1830 forward. So they have everything in there. Television sets, phones, wagons, anything you can think of, firearms, airplanes, and obviously vehicles. They have a car collection that is just amazing. 350 vehicles in this collection. And the cool part about it is they started putting this museum together in the early 50s. Started gathering some stuff up in the late 40s. Started putting it together in 53. And a lot of the cars in this place, especially the 30s, 40s, 50s cars, Scott's been there. Scott's on. He's been there. These cars were essentially used cars when they bought them and put them in the museum. So some of these cars, I was doing a little bit of research on certain vehicles. I was there. There's a 1941 Buick convertible that they bought in like the mid 50s for $25 and parked it in the museum. And that's exactly how it sits today. Never been touched. So that's what's so cool about this collection. My daughter and I spent a good chunk of Thursday there. We got there at 9 when they opened, and we were there till 3. And we looked around some, but I shot video almost the entire time. I've got 17 videos to bring you guys from there, almost 3 hours of footage that I'll start posting on Nobody's Show here coming up. Probably try to get one on this week. I'm not just going to overrun you with them. I'll probably throw up one a week mixed in with my new inventory videos and things like that as we go along here. So awesome collection. Like I said, we worked from 9 till 3 shooting, almost 3 hours of footage. And I'm going to give you a really, really super, super quick overview of what's there. There's a few cars on each video I tried to stop and talk about if it was something that kind of stood out to me. But for the most part, it's a super, super quick overview. And it took me from 9 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon to shoot it. And I've been there a ton of times and knew what I was doing and where I was going and what I wanted to shoot. I did one video that is not a ton of vehicle stuff. Because I did one vehicle that is kind of a real quick overview of the whole thing. Kirk Kirk loves it too. That's right, Kirk. I mean, I love it too. It's an awesome place. I did one quick video where we did a walk around in the courtyard to just give you just a quick example of the other stuff that is there, just for the simple fact because you may have friends and family that may not want to see cars, and you might need an excuse to get them to go along with you. So I did a video of a quick overview of some of the other stuff there. Just to show that there's a ton of interesting things there for anybody. Whatever you like, there's probably something there for you. So that's why I did it. It's an awesome place. The museum is actually in a foundation. It is not owned by the state. Harold Warp, who put it together, they actually created a foundation that owns it. So it's super critical that people keep going through those doors. They're not state funded. They're not big corporate funded. They have to have people going through those doors. And it is an amazing collection. Obviously, it's documented from 1830 forward, so that pretty much covers vehicles from the start all the way up. Do they have a Tucker at the Pioneer Auto Museum? The Pioneer Auto Museum the Pioneer Auto Museum is actually in South Dakota. We're at Pioneer Village in Minden, Nebraska. The Pioneer Auto Museum no longer has a real Tucker. The one in South Dakota, Dave did sell that car. However, he did have a Tucker Banner, but I got it. So I bought his Tucker Banner when I was there last year. So I was really super excited about that. So the Pioneer Auto Museum and Pioneer Village are two separate things. However, both great collections and both definitely something you don't want to miss if you're anywhere near the area. So like I said, but Pioneer Auto Museum did at one time have a Tucker, but it is as of last summer when I was there, it was not there. But they are two different things. And both definitely worth checking out. So I've got a ton of cool videos coming from there. Like I said, you're going to see a quick overview. The Tucker Banner on Toy Tuesday. Yeah, we do need to get the Tucker Banner out. So there's it's just such a great place. They've got tractors, farm equipment, blacksmithing equipment. They've got a Pony Express station set up with one of Buffalo Bill's actual saddles in it. I mean, just stuff you couldn't, I think I mentioned firearms, boat motors, trolley cars, just you name it. There's just something there for everybody that is going to be interesting. They do have a hotel on site at Pioneer Village. So because you do kind of need to plan, a full day, if not 2 days there. So, but they do have rooms available, great collection. Like I said, the facility was put together in the mid 50s. There are some signs of areas of that are showing their age. You got to kind of overlook some of that stuff because, like I said, they are a foundation that relies on the amount of people that go through that door as to what they can maintain. So, some things I know get overlooked and you can tell it, but they're doing what they can by putting people through. So, you got JW on. Hey, JW on YouTube. So that's what they're fighting, but it's an amazing collection. I hope you guys enjoy the footage I got from there. we'll start putting some of that stuff up. Like I said, I'll probably space it out one a week. If I get a bunch of wind and can't shoot at the yard, I may get 2 on a week. But I'm definitely going to try to space it out. I don't want to overrun you. Chopper 1's back on with us. Hey, Chopper. But great stuff. Definitely worth seeing. Definitely worth checking out. So that's why I shot these videos, to show people how cool it is and what is so awesome. So, race week is going to be a topic in and of itself. So let's get a couple of other orders of business out of the way, and then we will get into race week topics and discussion. What's my favorite state? I don't know what my favorite state is. That's hard to say. I do not have an answer for that one. Who wants to do trivia? Should we get ready to do some trivia here pretty quick? And since my buddy Phil was here, we talked about Etzels a little bit. And I thought of an Etzel question that I was actually going to use last week, so we'll use it this week. So if everybody's ready, we'll squeeze some trivia in, then we'll get to new inventory, and then we're going to roll into race week. So, because race week obviously was pretty interesting for me, and a lot of cool stuff happened. So let's, okay, we got another museum to check out. Gary's telling us about the Fountain City, Wisconsin has a car and toy museum. So anybody going through Fountain City, Wisconsin might want to check that one out. Packard stuff, Lance. I do have a few Packards depending on what we're talking about. So, trivia time. Etzel question in honor of my buddy Phil that was here a couple weeks ago. Obviously, there was a lot of hype for the Etzel. Ford was going to really make this thing a big deal. It was an entire new car line. It was going to fill a gap, they thought, with some super cool stuff, some super cool features that didn't quite work out so well, like the push button in the middle of the steering wheel for the gear selector and stuff like that. So they had a lot of cool ideas, some things that were not refined prior to the car being released that really kind of gave it a black eye. So, but like I said, they do still have a good following. They are cool cars. They are unique cars. So let's have an Etzel question if everybody's ready. Tonight, since it is a Ford product, I've got a Ford badge to give away. So I'll fire this off to the first correct answer to the question. I've got both screens up, both my comments current, so we're ready to go. When was the Etzel introduced into the world? Obviously, there was a ton of hype. Ford was really trying to make a big, big splash with this car. When did they do it? What day, what year, to unveil what Ford had planned on being, the wave of the future, so to speak, in cars. So I'm going to keep an eye on the comments. What day, what year was the Etzel introduced? So, new inventory. Wow, that was quick. We already got an answer. Chris Carson, September 4th, 1957. That is correct, Chris, on YouTube. September 4th, 1957 was the day and the year that it was released. Got a lot of years, but we needed the day and the year on that. So September 4th, 1957 is Etzel Day. Chris Carson must be an Etzel guy to get it that quick, because I don't even know if you could have Googled it quite that quick. So a lot of years, 57s and 58s, but Chris Carson was in there fast with that one. So Chris, after we get done, give me a shout and give me a call and give me your information. I'll get that on the way to you. Oh. Anyway, so that was fun and quick. I didn't expect anybody to get that one quite that quick. I figured I had something there was a little trickier, but maybe Chris isn't one of our resident Etzel guys. So, Chris, give me a call when we get done, and we'll get that on the way to you. And we had Frost WSA come in about a minute later with that one also. So, on the day and the year. New inventory. And then we got Gary over here on Facebook. So we got a few people that got it. Chris was by far the first one that had that one right, day and year. So thanks for playing, everybody. We have a lot of fun with it, and thanks for being here. I enjoy doing them. Obviously, my last couple of weeks have been crazy busy, so I have not had time to haul a lot of cars. Kept buying them, but I ain't got a lot of stuff picked up yet. But Dad has been moving some more Buicks in from his place. Two 47 Supers came in, a 50 Super, a 51 Super, and a 53 Special two-door sedan. When Phil was in town, just checking some comments here. Frank's 841. I'm not quite sure where we're going with that. I'm missing something there on that comment. So, but anyway, when Phil was here, we went down to another friend of mine down at Tim's place down by Newton, Kansas, because Phil had some Etzels there. Phil needed a document. Brought one car and a load of parts home from there. So besides the Buicks that came in, I bought a 53 Olds 98 with factory air, which is obviously kind of an oddball car, and a bunch of parts there also. Newell stock 42 to 47 Ford truck fender, jail bar grill type, just one side. I didn't get a pair, but one Newell stock front fender for those trucks. Pretty nice 78, 79 Malibu or El Camino header panel, complete intact, unbroken header panel. Early 80s Impala header panel, bunch of 71 to 76 Chevrolet big car parts, Impala Caprice trim, fender skirts, things like that. Some 71 to 74 Charger parts, some bumpers, a hood, some miscellaneous pieces there. Some 52 Buick Roadmaster two-door trim. Oh, and then I picked up another load. I got some Dodge cabs. Okay. All right. Thanks, Frank. Frank's 841. I said he had me lost on his comment. He hit the wrong button. So thanks for clarifying that, buddy. I appreciate that because I was lost on that one. So I got a 48, two Dodge truck cabs, one 48 to 50, one 51 to 53, both extremely solid cabs. They are just cabs, doors, and dash parts, but they are good, solid cabs. So, and a bunch of Ford truck sheet metal. 67 to 72 and 73 to 79. I think there's one 67 to 72 hood. There's 5 68 to 72 doors, 2 73 to 79 hoods, and 4 73 to 79 doors. So a lot of good, hard to find sheet metal there too. So anybody needs any of that stuff, give me a call after we get done. I'll get you on my list and go through it and see what all I've got that might be able to help you out on that stuff. Okay, on to Rocky Mountain Race Week. I have obviously if you're on the channels, I'm sure you saw some of the videos. What we ended up doing was obviously we went to Kearney Thursday night just to see some friends, which was hectic because when we got back to Great Bend about 10:30 Thursday night and had to start getting ready for Friday. Talking with Matt and working with Matt on trying to help out with a few things in the Great Bend area, helped him build some of the route here and things like that. And then we used the yard as the last checkpoint. Kind of had a little bit of an open house just for the racers. And we decided, well, if we're going to do it, let's go ahead and do it upright. So I had some friends that helped me out with that. We got a big hot dog cooker out, and we gave away hot dogs, chips, bottles of water to all the racers that wanted to stop and grab something to eat and check out some of my cool cars out there. Got to look around a little bit and hang out, and had a great time with those guys. Like I said in the videos, it's just a super, super awesome group of people. There's not any other way to describe them. So it was great to be able to host them, and had a little over 200 cars come through. They had to stop and take a picture to prove that they followed the route. However, they didn't necessarily all have to stop, but a lot of them did. Of course, we had free hot dogs, so that always helps too. That always changes the guy's mind. G-Body Monte Carlo driver's door. There's a possibility on that, Mike. You're going to give me a call after we get done. I can get you on my list. But had a great time. Got to meet a ton of people. Got all the food ready. Handed out tons of food. Gave away almost 400 hot dogs. Saw a lot of our friends that we've met over the years of being involved with Race Week, either when we just caught part of it or when we did the whole thing in 18. The Alex and Dennis Taylor, Alex with the orange Bad Marrow, and Dennis with his Retro Nova. They were both here and got to see them. In fact, Alex's car spent most of the day in the shop out at the yard. had some issues with the roller timing set in it. So Dennis and her worked on that most of the afternoon while everybody was out there. So, but got it fixed. She got a couple of hits in that night. They weren't good, but at least she went down the track, got a time slip, and was still active in the race. Tom McGilton and the Why Not ZL1 Camaro, we did a video with him on YouTube and talked to him while he was out at the yard. Steve, 64 truck right side door. I should still have that also. Give me a call if we get done. I'll get you on my list and double check. So but I think I should still have something there. Tom McGilton, the Why Not ZL1 Camaro, did finally Friday night here in Great Bend. Went 200 miles an hour in that car. Street driven ZL1 Camaro. Still has power windows, power seats, Bluetooth, nav, everything in it in the factory dash. And it runs sevens at 200 miles an hour. So pretty cool car. Always good to see him. Another one of my buddies, Grant Tomey, was here. Straight Six fan on YouTube and Facebook. He came out. He did a lot of videos. He's got a Fairmont build going on, so he came out and saw a bunch of the Fox Body Ford guys. He had a great time, put some good footage together. And there were some other YouTubers that showed up that I weren't even aware of who they were until they got here, which was pretty cool. The Cletus Macfarlane was here. I did not get a chance to catch him at the yard. I did get a chance to talk to the Boosted Boys. Boosted, Boosted, Boys, Boiz. And I didn't even know who they were. However, they pulled in a silver minivan with no hood on it. And it had a 4-cylinder in it, which, was about, yay big. But the turbo hanging off of it was still about this big. So that was pretty cool. I was like, well, I don't know what it is, but it looked pretty cool because the turbo is almost as big as the motor in it. So I was like, whatever this is, it's pretty radical. So I went over and talked to them for a little bit, and they were gracious enough to give me a few minutes of their time and gracious enough to throw me on their channel too. So big shout out to the Boosted Boys. I want to give them a big thanks. And because it was really cool to meet them and talk about some of the cool stuff that they're doing. Frank's on here, the 2020 C8 Corvette. I haven't even seen one yet, Frank. They look pretty cool. Don't know much about them. I've got a buddy that actually works in Bowling Green and troubleshooting as some of those cars come off the line if they've got weird problems. But never seen one in person, so don't know much about them. They look pretty good, Frank, so I can't give you an honest opinion of that at this point. So Friday was a great day at the yard. Had a blast with those people. Had just a steady stream of awesome race cars in and out of the gate. I posted some of those videos. Had the local paper out there. The newspaper did a really great article. It was front page, top headed this morning on the local paper. Some super cool shots from another local guy that came out as a photographer to shoot something. E. Houghton Photography, EHOWTON Photography, shot some really cool stuff that he's got posted on Facebook. And overall, just a great time. Like I said, great people, and it was just a blast. Can't say enough good things about the entire event. And not only Great Bend welcomed them, but everywhere you go welcomes these guys. It's just a great time. It's a big family. And had a blast with it. Chad and Cole Reynolds were here, good friends of ours from Bankshift. And in fact, the live feed is on right now on bankshift.com. As soon as we get done here, if you want to jump on to bankshift.com, live feed from Pueblo is up. I was watching it before we jumped on here live. So if you want to see what's going on and keep up with what's going on, bankshift.com, hit the live feed on that. I didn't even get to the track in Great Bend till almost 9. By the time we got Alex's car back together Friday night and got everything locked up at the yard and got headed out to the track, I didn't even get to till almost 9, and they only ran. They shut down at 10, and there was a few cars in the lanes they still had to run, so they were done at 10:10. So I didn't even get to see much of the racing in Great Bend, but that's okay because we got Alex's car done, and we got to hang out with those guys, Brian Lum and and Alex and Dennis and Debbie, and great people. So had a blast with them. And overall, just had a great week. It was bananas for me. I ran and ran and ran. Some of those nights were 3-4 hours of sleep, but it was all worth it. We had a great time. We got to go to Pioneer Village. We got to go to Kearney to the races and see friends. And then we had an awesome day here. So definitely check out those videos. Steve over commented a Ford Festiva in Omaha with a big turbo on it. A big turbo on a Ford Festiva, there isn't much. I don't know how you're going to get a big turbo on a Ford Festiva. There isn't a lot of room in a Ford Festiva to put a big turbo on it. But it was great to meet those guys. And like I said, it was just a super awesome time. And the event is awesome. Check it out. If you want an adventure, do it. You can do it in a street car. They even have bracket classes. They've got a 12.0 class, a 13.0 class. They've got a 14.0 class. So you do not have to have a 7 or 8 second car to do this. You can have a street car that drives. You can drive everywhere and try to run the 14.0 bracket. And the bracket classes is whoever gets closest to perfect. If you're running 14.0 class, you want to hopefully run 14.0s. And those classes are getting really competitive, even though they're not the fastest classes. You know, a lot of those cars, if you're in the 12.0, 13.0, 14.0, if you're, 500s off, a lot of times you're out. There's just, because a lot of times it's 200 or 300, sometimes in the thousands in the top 2 or 3 cars. So, but there again, those guys have just as much fun as the fast cars. So it's a great time, and anybody can do it. You don't have to have a rocket ship to do it. Guys like the Boosted Boys that put that cool stuff together and just have a blast with it, that's great too, but it's open to anybody. That's the beauty of it. So I can't say enough good things about how that's turning out, how it's growing, how it's building. And it just gets bigger and bigger and better every year. I think this was the 6th one. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, this is the 6th one they did. What's the fastest car that I've been in? I don't even know off the top of my head. I don't even know what's the fastest thing I've ridden in. I just have to think about that and see what I can come up with, because I don't have a good answer for that right off the top. So 1320 Video does sponsor Rocky Mountain Race Week. Be sure to check those guys out. 1320video.com, Facebook, YouTube, they're everywhere. Tons of good coverage. Kyle and his crew do an excellent job. They are everywhere. They get super cool footage from the road. They get footage from the checkpoints. They did drone shots out at the yard. I talked to Kyle for quite a while, and some of his guys both, and they shot some cool footage out there. Maybe they can come up with some cool stuff that looks neat. They got great road shots of these cars going down the road, blown gassers and things like that. They'll get them going down the highway at 60 miles an hour and come up with some really cool stuff. So it's definitely want to check out what they're going to have coming out. They're posting some stuff, but once they get all the footage back and get into edit, I think there'll be some awesome stuff they'll be posting over the next week or two also. So that's basically what I've got for tonight. If anybody's got any other questions, we can sure get to them. We're starting to run a little long, but I knew we would, because I knew I had a lot of things to talk about. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. I hope I didn't bore you too much with everything. I got to rambling a little bit there. Steve also knows the Carmen Gia with an old 455 in it. I bet that's interesting in the rear, so that'd be something kind of different too. But that's what I got. I tried to hurry through it, and I probably drug on a little while, but I tried not to. Tried to keep it interesting. As always, I appreciate you guys stopping by, spending part of your evening with me. It means a lot to me. I'm just the one that gets to sit here and talk to you. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate you guys jumping in, getting involved. It looks like we are pretty much caught up on comments. I'll keep an eye on them for anything popping up here in the last minute or two as we wrap up. But like I said, be sure to check out the live feed on Bank Shift. Check out what's going on in Denver to wrap it up, and then they'll have the winners posted. And let's keep an eye out for the route next year and see where they're going. And it's well worth doing. So anyway, that's what I've got for tonight. What's my website? I do not have a regular website, Ernesto. There's no way to keep it up. The maintenance on a regular website, when inventory changes literally almost daily around here, it's almost impossible to do. That's why I utilize the Facebook and the YouTube platforms, because I can post new inventory as it comes in, and you can always go back and rewatch the videos on YouTube. You can always scroll back through the posts on Facebook or watch the videos on Facebook and keep an eye on things like that. That way, everybody sees what's coming in. When it comes in, I get the videos done or picture shot, get it posted, And I'll be posting some more pictures on Nobody Else's Auto tonight. I've got a bunch of new inventory that I haven't even got posted, so I got to get 1 or 2 cars posted on there tonight. And so that's what's going to be coming up next. So anyway, I'll wrap up. I'm sure you guys are tired of listening to me. I appreciate you being here. As always, if you've got any other questions about vehicles or parts, give me a call. 620-786-4428 is my number. And let me know what you're working on. Give me some details of your build, and then we can have a conversation about where you are going with your project and whether or not I've got anything that I can help you with. So, or maybe I know about something, even if I don't own it. I may know about something that's around. So, all right, Frank's on again. That's thanks, Frank's 841. Appreciate the kind words there. We do these. I haven't seen you on before, I don't believe, Frank's. So we do these every night, every Sunday night at 7 o'clock. And there will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. There will be new videos posted, and then we'll do Toy Tuesday on Tuesday night. So Frank's 841. Glad you're here. Thanks for being here. And that's what we've got coming up. Since I think you're new. James, thanks for the kind words about the videos. Appreciate that too. I do hope you guys are enjoying this stuff. My videos are raw. I do them the way I do them, and I hope they're informative. I hope they're interesting. I don't have a ton of time to do a lot of editing because I'm trying to keep up with orders and get parts shipped and things like that. But I enjoy doing them, so we slap them together best I can, and we roll with it. And hopefully I don't screw up too much or sound too bad and annoy all you guys. So that's what I'm trying. But anyway, thanks for being here. It's been a busy couple of weeks for me, but it was a great couple of weeks, and well worth it. And I love those guys on Race Week. They're a family. And if you've watched my videos, there's just to prove that with the family that Race Week is. You know, we lost one of our Race Weekers a few years ago, and Chad had Daphne's ashes with him this week, and the last racetrack she ever went down in 2017, before we lost her, was here in Great Bend, and she made the fastest pass she'd ever made. And real quick, a kind of a special moment here Friday night for us as Race Weekers. And I know a lot of you guys on here haven't been on Race Week, but this kind of hits home as to what this thing means to people. Chad took some of Daffy's ashes and put them in the parachutes of the Why Not ZL1. And Friday night here at Great Bend, when he pulled up to the line, got some good conditions, and that ZL1 had never been 200 miles an hour. And when the tree went green and he dropped the hammer, the car hooked hard. He went through the traps. It flashed up 200 miles an hour, and he pulled the chutes. And we've got a little of Daphne here at the track with us. So that's what Race Week's all about. That's the type of people that are on Race Week. So super cool deal there, super cool event, and that's why I love it so much, and that's why I've been rambling about it so much. But that's what we're doing, and that's why we're here. So it was all worth it. 74 Nova 4-door, Keith. I do have one of those in stock for parts. If you want to give me a call after we get done, I'm going to wrap up, shut up, and so you guys don't have to keep listening to me ramble. We're definitely going a little longer tonight than we normally do, but I knew that was going to happen. So I will wrap up and let you guys get back your evening. Thanks for being here. I super appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with me. I'm the lucky one. I get to sit here and talk with you guys, and we have a great time doing it. I hope you're enjoying it. Tell your friends about it. Have them join us. Jump on the chat next Sunday night, and we'll jump in and we'll have another good time. So thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow night with either some new inventory videos or maybe the first video from Pioneer Village. We'll see how tomorrow goes. So thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you soon.